Hello, welcome to another episode of Developer Q&A. This is the session where I answer developer questions about careers in tech. If you have a question, there is a link down below for you to submit your question. I will answer you as soon as possible. And so without further ado, let's get on to today's question. Today's question comes from Kiran and is, do you have any advice or confidence boosting tips for starting your first ever tech role and making the most out of your first day? So I'm going to answer this in two separate ways because the question is kind of in two parts. So let's talk about your first day. Chill out. So here's how your first day is going to go. You're going to sit down and look at a screen, meet some people. It's going to be awkward. And then you're going to sit down, look at the screen and go, what the hell is this? Like, did no one ever teach you a lot about, clean code? Dry principles? No? Nothing? You know this is unintentionally recursive. Okay. That's pretty much... the best code you've ever seen was probably your own. The driest, cleanest, best written. When you work as part of a bigger team, in most cases, and I do mean most cases, the code will not be at the level that you had hoped. So you're going to learn a lot by having to deal with spaghetti. So your first day, you've got enough on your plate and you need to just try and familiarise yourself. So the first piece of advice is you're thinking, I've got to sit down, I've got to start coding immediately, I've got to add value. It's going to take a lot longer than you anticipated. We like to think you just sit down and just start coding. I'm just completing pull requests and just banging stuff out. That's not the life of a developer. The life of a developer is much slower than that. So my best piece of advice is calm down, relax. This is going to take time. You're going to feel out of your depth. You're going to be lost. You're going to be crying yourself to sleep at night about the standard of the code you've just experienced. Get over it. So relax, breathe deep. This will all come in time. So to make the best out of your first ever tech role is to get yourself up to speed with the mess that you've been presented with as soon as possible. So what I would encourage you to do is, they might give you tasks to do those first. But a good thing to do is start looking at, issues that are there in their code, issues that are there on GitHub or however they're tracking their bugs and things like that, and start trying to investigate and find your way around. Just looking through the files is kind of less fruitful. You get lost really easily. Having a look through the code base with purpose, trying to find something, will eventually give you an insight into how this works, how in general the team has been building things, what's their principle in terms of coding, if they have any principles at all. So the race here is to become valuable as soon as possible, and the best way to do that is to become familiar with the code base, and the best way to do that is to give yourself purpose when you look through it. But I would also remember the first point we made here, which is about this is going to take time, and not to get too stressed. You're going to feel like an imposter from day one. The encouraging thing, if you want to laugh at it, is you'll still feel like an imposter after 365 days. It's part of the thing, and something you're just going to have to come to terms with and deal with. Everyone is lost. Everyone is upset by the standard of the code. Everyone is wondering why on earth the developer decided to do things this way. You don't want to be slating the other people. You just want to be trying to add value, and add value might not always be, hey, this is terrible, we should rewrite it, but trying to solve problems, being able to say, I can take some more of these tasks and actually start doing them. And then asking the right questions when you're doing that. Because you might not be able to find the solution immediately, but it's not a case of going, hey, I can't find it. It's going, oh, I've got here, how does this work? And you get that bit explained and you go away and work on it. Once you do this a few times, you'll really start to get a grip of how things work, and that's when you'll start to feel like you're contributing, and imposter syndrome goes away a little bit, and now you're part of the team. At the same time, don't lose your standards, but you might have to keep quiet about them for a little bit of time. Hope that helps. If anybody else has a question, please go to crushing.digital and submit your questions. There will be a link down here as well for you to submit a question, and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. If you like these questions, then please consider subscribing to the channel and letting me know what sort of questions you want answering next. I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.